Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Merengue's Media. I'm here to react to the news of Luka Modrić leaving Real Madrid. Honestly, when I heard about him leaving Real Madrid, it was a little bit sad. But at the same time, I understand why we do have to move on eventually. So by Luka Modrić leaving Real Madrid, it kind of gave me an idea to just to see where he ranked as one of the greatest midfielders of our generation. To all the old head out there, please, I'm not meaning to piss you guys off. This ranking that I'm doing it for the players that I've watched in my generation. I know there's a lot of great midfielders out there. There's a lot of great players out there that are not going to be on this list. So please don't come at me, right? If you old heads think like I missed someone, you're more than welcome to make your own list in the comments and join the conversation. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I would really appreciate it. Now, let's get to my ranking. First person in my ranking as the greatest midfielder is, of course, Zinedine Zidane. The reason why I picked Zinedine Zidane, honestly, for me, he's the complete package. He's the complete midfielders. He had everything. He had the elite technique, creativity, vision, big game mentality. So he's just the complete midfielder. He had this aura about him. He was, the way he controlled the ball, the way he ran with the ball, everything he did with the ball was so smooth and so easy on the eyes. And he just made the game look so easy. And then apart from all that, he was a big game player. In the World Cup, he scored 2 goals in the 1998 World Cup against France, those 2 others, and then he scored that value in the Champions League final against Bayern Leverkusen. And then he led France in the 2006 World Cup, where I feel like if he didn't get that red card, they would have probably won that World Cup. So for me, just putting all that together, Zinedine Zidane is undoubtedly the greatest midfielder. He's the number 1 in that ranking. Number 2 on my ranking will be Andre Iniesta. Iniesta is a magician. If you're talking about a magician in the midfield, if you want to talk about someone who was so unique, who could make something happen out of nothing, especially in tight spaces, that was Iniesta. Iniesta did some stuff in the field where you just open your mouth, you're like, wow, how's that even possible? He always seems to make the right decisions, the right passes, he just played the game so smoothly. The other person that, there's other people that actually ranked him higher than Zidane. And when you think about it, there's a big argument there. There's a big argument why some people would put Iniesta over Zinedine Zidane, because he was just that good. And then when it came to clutch moments, he was very clutch against Chelsea in the 2009 semi-final Champions League. He scored that wonderful value. And then in the World Cup final, scored another win, the only goal in the final against Netherlands. And he was part of that Spanish golden era where they won 2 Euros and then a World Cup. So Andre Iniesta was just a complete player. He was a complete player, and he also offered a lot of versatility. So he was able to play in the wing. He was sometimes coming in the midfield. Honestly, just watching him in that do his magic was it was just so magical. Even as a Real Madrid fan, I'm a football fan before being a Real Madrid fan. So Andre Iniesta is definitely undoubtable to me the second greatest midfielder ever. And then he also came up second in the 2010 Ballon d'Or, which I felt like he should have won that Ballon d'Or. But obviously that's a conversation for another day. So overall, Andre Iniesta second on my list. Third on my list, this one, a lot of people might not like it. I would put Luka Modrić. Now, why am I putting Luka Modrić as my third greatest midfielder? Because Luka Modrić was consistent. In the last decade, Luka Modrić has been dominating that midfield position for a long time. And consistent in Europe, consistent in big game, His level hasn't dropped since a while. You know, he's 39 this year, he's going to be 40 this year, and he's leaving at the peak. He's leaving at the very peak, and he did everything in the last 15 years at least. So, and as far as his achievement go, he was a big part of that Real Madrid team that won the three-peat. He won 6 Champions League with Real Madrid, La Liga's in there, and then for me, his biggest achievement isn't even him winning the Champions League. It isn't him winning the Ballon d'Or. For me, Luka Modric's biggest achievement was leading that Croatia team in 2018 World Cup to the final. To me, coming from that small country and being the best player in the tournament from such a small country and leading them to the World Cup final and coming up second, to me, that was big. To me, Luka Modrić is undoubtedly the third greatest midfielder I have ever seen, all in the last 3 decades, all of this generation. However you want to put it, Luka Modrić definitely is the third for me. Now, I know a lot of people might not agree with that. We can even talk about the individual. When it comes to individual, he has the Ballon d'Or. He was the World Cup best player in 2018. He was the Champions League best midfielder in 2018. So, to me, Luka Modrić definitely the third greatest midfielder of this generation. And that brings me to my fourth. Before I mention the fourth person, I'm going to make an honorable mention here. Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos is my honorable mention. Toni Kroos has won the World Cup, again, 6 Champions League. Best passers of this generation, one of the best passers of this generation, has done it all. The Germany sniper definitely deserve a mention in this topic. He's not part of this of my top 4, but he's my honorable mention. That brings me to my last ranking, who is Xavi Hernandez. Now, a lot of people might not agree with this. They might think Xavi's ranked too low, but I put Xavi 4th because I feel like Xavi was the system genius. He was the best passer. He was the best passer of his era, I might say. He was the brain behind the Barca team and that Spanish tiki-taka that Guardiola installed. He was the best. He was the brain of that. But for me, I feel like he only worked well in one system. That system, when Guardiola came, really, really brought the Xavi Hernandez that we know today. But that impact that he had, the impact was good enough that it led him to be one of the greatest midfielders of this generation. I just didn't think he offered the same versatility in the big game. Like he didn't have the explosiveness of Zinedine Zidane, for example, or Luka Modrić. Like he just didn't have that. Maybe I'm cherry picking here. You guys can tell me if I'm being cherry picky. But he was a great passer, like I said. He was a great part of that Spanish team that won the 2 Euros and the World Cup. So of this generation, and then with Barca winning those Champions Leagues and then doing great things overall. And he was in the podium in the 2010 World Cup, and he was in the podium in 2011. In 2010 Ballon d'Or, and he was in the podium in the 2011. Ballon d'Or. So overall, I think Xavi ranked 4th in my greatest midfielder of the generation. I don't know what you guys think. That's my ranking. Again, this is my opinion. This is what I think. If you guys do not agree with my ranking, please don't forget to comment and put your own ranking. Put your own top 4 ranking and mention your honorable mention. I would really appreciate that. Let's get this engagement started. With that being said, that's my ranking, and then I'll just send this message to all Madristas out there and Luka Modrić. Luka Modrić, honestly, we thank him very much for his service. We appreciate everything that he has done for our club in the last decade and a bit. When he came to Madrid, people were calling him a flop of a signing, but he changed that topic. He became the the heart and the engine of our team in the last decade and a bit. We want to thank him for this, for the 6th Champions League, for everything that he has done. Luka Modrić is a legend. Luka Modrić will live in the football fans' memory forever and forever. Thank you very much, Luka Modrić. Guys, if you've made it this far, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I would really appreciate it. Hala Madrid.